And developing news today on the death of a New England Patriots fan following a game at Gillette Stadium on Sunday.
Western Mass News reporter Olivia Hickey joins us live in studio with the latest. Olivia?
Chris Abbey, the Norfolk District Attorney's Office, is investigating this case and have released a statement saying, in part, preliminary autopsy results did not suggest traumatic injury, but did identify a medical issue. Cause and manner of death remain undetermined pending further testing. Eyewitnesses at the game reported that 53-year-old Dale Mooney of Newmarket, New Hampshire, and another man, a Miami Dolphins fan, as you can see in this video, were heckling each other throughout the game. Then it took a turn.
Everybody around knew something was wrong, and we had just witnessed something we all didn't want to see.
Investigators say Mooney was pronounced dead at the hospital. No charges or arrests have been made in this case. The district attorney's investigation remains active. Any eyewitnesses or anyone in possession of the original video is asked to contact the number on your screen, 781-830-4990. We have reached out to the New England Patriots for comment, and we have yet to hear back. Reporting live in studio, Olivia Hickey for Western Mass.